Hey, my name is Jobby, and we're looking at the Cang Toys CT Chiyou 02 LANDBULL, the second figure in a whole line of combiners that I started 3 years ago. As for why it took so long, I don't fucking know your mama. This guy is a third-party Transformers figure of the G1 Predacon Tantrum, who was part of the combiner team known as the Predakons. No relation. Tantrum, or LANDBULL, whatever you want to call him, forms one of the legs of the fully combined Predaking, also known as Thunderking. And yes, as you can see by the apparent size of this guy, the fully combined form, there's gonna be something. Links in the description if you want in on this. Or you could just watch any other Thunderking review that came out in the past 3 years, but they won't have as many dick jokes. And you won't find as many Japanese products as you can on Zen Market, the sponsor of this video. Zen Market is a proxy shipping service that helps you buy and ship goods directly from Japanese sites like a local, without having to live in Japan or know Japanese. Baka gaijin. Just search for an item. You can buy almost anything from over 10,000 Japanese stores. Next, you want to pay for the item, of course. Zen Market has a 500 yen fee for each item, but if you buy 2 of the same item that is the same color, same style, etc., you'll only need to pay the fee 1 time. Next, create the parcel. Enjoy 60 days of free storage and shop from different stores. Then you can combine all those items from the different stores into one parcel to save on shipping fees. Zen Market makes sure that the items are well packed and well consolidated, and consolidation is completely free. And if you run into any issues, which you won't, Zen Market provides 19 languages and fantastic customer service. There's a reason why they're trusted by over 2 million users worldwide, and they've got plenty of shipping and payment methods available. So check the link in the description and sign up to Zen Market and use my promo code JobbytheHong to get 1,000 Zen points free. 1 Zen point is equivalent to 1 yen, and this sponsor is equivalent to me affording rent. Thanks, Zen Market. The painting and the sculpting on this figure is amazing. Obviously carries over the aesthetic established by the previous Cang Toys Predacon. Ferocious, just a radical but faithful redesign of that original G1 Predacon, keeping the blocky proportions but having certain design elements that remind me of Gundam. By the way, enjoy my previous Gundam review as much as you can. Next Gundam review in 2050. I'd even say that this guy's design is even more faithful than the previous Cang Toys figure we took a look at. And as much as I love dinosaurs—
But Jobby, where's the rest of the Cang Toys Dinobots? You're supposed to review figures as soon as they're announced, you bitch!
Bro, they haven't even came out yet. Fuck off.
You haven't even came out yet, you—
As much as I love dinos, there's something about the Predacon aesthetic that just hits better. One of the drastic improvements over that original design is definitely the head. First of all, really expressive, but also big fan of how the bull head is not actually connected to the face, although it's close enough to the head to evoke the image of the original. But if you don't really care about faithfulness, I've seen you with another woman, you get the option of shifting the bull head, which allows the robot mode head to stand on its own. Easier access to the light piping as well. Those shades shine brilliantly. Wait a minute. An angry yellow man with shades, wearing red? Where the frick is his Tesla? As for his accessories, you get a sword, tabs right into his hand, not the best grip, and you get a gun. Also plugs into his hand, for some reason has a better grip on it. And of course, you get the all-important card. I probably have 1 billion of these by now, and they're all in my ass. You get stats and yap on the back. Boo Totem, the most loyal tribe of God of War Chief. I don't know why I'm reading it like that. This is perfectly fine English. I'm just racist. While his grip on his weapons isn't the most solid, the figure itself has no such problems, mostly. Really wish the bull head tabbed in some way. It just kind of sits there. Other than that, the joints on the figure are, oh, something else, my word. This guy is hefty thanks to some die-cast metal, which you can clearly see. But if you prefer, you can always touch them. And the joints are extremely tight. Some parts might even be too tight. We'll get to that later. But what we'll do is work that posability. Ball joint at the head. Every ball joint can be a swivel. Can look up that far. Can look down that far. Ball joint at the shoulder pad. Every ball joint, it can rotate independently of the shoulder just a little bit. Hinge joint at the shoulder pad. And the shoulder itself can rotate a full 360 even. Arm moves out. Bicep swivel. Double bend at the elbow. Wrist swivel. Hinge joint at the wrist. There's a ball joint at the bull huff. More relevant for the beast mode. Hinge joint at the thumb. Ball joint at the base of each finger. Every ball joint can be, but they're so thin I wouldn't recommend that. And a hinge joint on all of the fingers, individually articulated. Swivel at the waist. Ab crunch. Ball joints at the skirts, which opens the hips for a rotation. Can't move back that far. The leg can move out. Also known as a beautiful spread, but I couldn't spread it traditionally. Thigh swivel, double bend at the knee. His long ass foot can move down, swivel at the ankle. Ow! A toe bend and a damn good pivot. Posability on this guy is excellent despite his bulky and large frame. Size comparison time. Here's Figma Madoka Kaname, Haya Toys Godzilla, the Magic Square Light of Peace, not Optimus Prime. My previous review, the Transformers Legacy Magmatron, the Cang Toys Stegzero, and the Cang Toys Ferocious. Only 2 figures deep, and I could already see how awesome the complete team's gonna be, especially when I get them into their beast modes. Let's open these beautifully presented instructions and do a pretty fun transformation. We're not gonna poke any eyes out today. Yo. Not in the instructions. Great. These particular parts were not here out of the box, but we'll get to that later. Banya! So the transformation here, like all the Cang Toys figures I've taken a look at, is a bit complex at first. Kind of a challenge to get everything to fit together, which explains the length of my Just Playing stream on my second channel, Jobby2. Like, comment, subscribe. We're almost at 100K, guys, come on. But if you take your time with it and actually follow the instructions and using your intuition, fuckers, you'll find that the transformation isn't a load of bull. Mode is amazing! So cool that the robot mode is essentially completely lost here. Although he's a little less Zoid-ish than I would like. The influence is definitely still there though. Or is it just me? It's probably because I popped my Zoid cherry on my second channel, Jobby2 again. I actually grew up with Zoids but never covered it on the channel. But unlike Zoids, the weapon integration is far from the best. Maybe there's a better way to do this. It's not presented in the instructions, but this is the only way that I can find that fits. At least this connection is solid. Like the rest of the mode, I'm telling you, man. Super satisfying to feel everything come together. And because it's been so long since my previous Cang Toys review, shut up, the entire rest of the line has been released, and I have all of them, which gives me access to the Gorilla, which includes extra parts for this figure. The parts included with Thorilla allow this figure to become even more solid, but I can confirm that if you buy this figure right now, through the link in the description, these extra parts should be pre-installed. This second production run version even has improvement to its tolerances. The joints aren't as annoyingly tight or squeaky. Why do you think the transformation didn't make me cry? And of course, those improvements makes the bull mode fun to pose. You get a ball joint at the head, which allows him to look up super far and look down a lot, but barely any side to side, damn it. But at least he can, horns can also, nose ring can move, opening mouth. If you untab the shoulders a little bit, he's got a nice rotation at the shoulder. Bend at the elbow, knee. If this is accurate to a real bull, let me know. Bend here, but I don't know if that counts. Ball joint at the hoof. Every ball joint, hinge joint, which is more for the transformation, of course, and allows the hoof to move even more. And again, I don't know if this counts. No mid-body articulation at all, but I don't mind. Rotation at the hips, a swivel here. And if you notice, this is just the robot foot articulation with an added bend at the knee. Another ball joint at the back hooves. Can move back that far and move up that far. Allows for a pretty good pivot. And I suppose this counts as a pretty good spread. And for the tail, you get a double hinge joint at the base, hinge joint, and a bit of a wag. Also a hinge joint here, but this part should have just plugged in. Posability here is not too shabby. Well beyond what you'd expect from a typical beast mode. Just wish the head had more range. And despite how compressed the robot mode gets for this mode, he's still pretty big. Size comparison time again. Here's Monica, Godzilla, Prime, Stegzero, my hands hurt, and Ferocious. We got the beginnings of a certified petting zoo, and I'm loving it so far. And unlike Stegzero, the transformation into the limb mode doesn't make me want to gouge my eyes out, which I would do with that figure. And the leg mode here is essentially just the bull mode. Nothing much changed. But man, am I still excited. I mean, look at the size of this thing. And to reiterate, this is merely the lower leg of the fully combined mode. It doesn't even include the feet. Those are separate figures that we'll talk about later. 5 years later. Still wish the bull head plugged in though. And I wish that the knee connector didn't break. How the frick did this happen? Well, I'll tell you. This was an extremely tight ratchet joint, which makes total sense because it's gonna be the knee joint of an extremely gigantic combiner. However, why was the material here not strong enough to withstand the pressure of my fucking muscleless arm? Fortunately, the new copy that I bought feels much better. Still being super tight, but not ridiculously so. Hopefully it's strong enough to hold up the full combination, which if you didn't know by now, is gonna be freaking huge. Size comparison time. Monica Godzilla Prime, Stegzero. Why do I do this to myself? And Ferocious. Dude, I am super excited. I can't tell you how hard I resisted the temptation of just cracking these open and playing with them off camera. But no, I respect you, I care about you, and we're gonna get through all of these figures together on camera. Also, I love money. I'm telling you, if this video does particularly well, I will continue the series, and hopefully we can get that fully combined Thunderking by the end of the year. This thing makes me so happy that I feel like I could fly. It's a Red Bull, gives you wings and... Hey, my name is Jobby, and I know we're all excited for me to talk about the same damn mode a third time. I certainly am. But before that, there is something very important that I need to tell you.